So I'm one of those people that does not believe mistakes are a bad thing. I actually believe that mistakes are one of our best opportunities to learn and grow. This February 26th marks 1 year of me starting my online business as a life coach. And let me tell you, I absolutely made my fair share of mistakes, but came away with some major lessons and insights. So if you're a new entrepreneur or have even been in business for a few years already, I truly believe that these insights and lessons that I'm about to share are incredibly powerful no matter what stage of business you're in. So be sure to keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Dominique Woodward and I'm a trauma-informed life coach. So this February 26th is marking 1 year of me starting my online business as a life coach. And on top of that, I started this business at the age of 39. Now, before I even started, I truly felt that I was too old to start my own business, let alone have never taken any business or marketing classes in my life, because my background is science. I have been a physical therapist assistant for over 16 years. So marketing, business, just anything outside of science or health was so incredibly foreign to me. But in today's video, I'm gonna share with you 5 of my biggest lessons and takeaways from my first year experiencing entrepreneurship. I'm very happy to say that I am now a firm believer that anyone can become an entrepreneur, no matter your age. And these 5 lessons that I'm gonna share with you are really going to encompass anyone's journey. So these are things that I would recommend anyone, no matter what business you are going to be starting, to really keep these in mind. Let's just jump right into the lessons and insights that I have to share with you after being in business now for 1 year. These are in no particular order, but let's start with lesson number 1, which is having support is an absolute must. Now, I'm not just talking about the support of your family or loved ones or husband or wife. Yes, that is really very important, but I'm talking about support as far as accountability and just balancing your mental well-being. So the moment I decided that I was going to start my own life coaching business, I hired my own life coach, knowing that this was going to be a huge transition for me, and knowing that, hey, I can be lazy and I can certainly have that shiny object syndrome, and I needed the proper accountability. So I reached out to a life coach that I worked with for my first almost full year of being in business. And I'll tell you, if it wasn't for her support and accountability, I honestly don't think I would have made it this far. I honestly feel like I would have given up just a few months in. And maybe having support looks different for you. Maybe it's having a counselor or a therapist that you can really confide in and express your fears and challenges to. Or maybe it's having a friend that is also an entrepreneur and can relate, and you use each other for that support and accountability that can really make things so much smoother throughout your journey and make you feel less alone. So lesson number 2 is that email is not dead. Now, this may seem very strange for me to comment, but again, I am coming from a science and health background. Email communication is really not a vital part of this occupation. So when I first learned about use of email for email marketing, I was really shocked. I was like, wait a minute, who reads emails? Like, is this still a thing? But yeah, it is. And so I had to change my whole perspective of email in general for communication. And thankfully, with my life coach that I was working with, she helped me to understand the power of having email communication for your clients or potential clients, especially if you're wanting to build a community. So the first thing that I did was really seek out an email marketing provider, and I currently use Flowdesk, and I rave about Flowdesk all the time, especially on Instagram. And I'm so incredibly happy of just how easy it is to use this software. The easier, the better for me. And I'm going to say it again, because business and marketing does not come naturally to me, this was great help for me because there are so many templates that you can go off of. I'll leave a link for Flowdesk down below in the description, and I'll also provide a coupon code for you to use if you're interested in trying it, but no worries, no pressure. I just really love this email marketing provider. And so, long story short, email is going to be your best friend. And the big reason why is because you own those email addresses versus if you are relying on Instagram or Facebook or whatever else people are using, those companies own that information. So if something happens to them, that's gone. Like, you have no contact whatsoever. You can't take those individuals over to your email. So having an email community is going to be a very smart way to ensure your stability and security. And building a community that is all yours gives you so much sense of course, connection, but contribution is a big one for me. And just knowing that this little community of mine is of like-minded individuals gives me so much joy, and I know that it will do the exact same thing for you if you put focus on email communication. The third lesson I have to share with you is to chase one rabbit at a time. Now, I love this one because I learned about this concept a few months ago when I was working with my mentor, Nora. She's amazing. I'll leave her down below, but she is also a life coach. And I worked with her for 6 months, and she really drilled into me the importance of focusing on one rabbit at a time. And this is actually a Chinese proverb, and it goes like this: if you chase 2 rabbits, both will escape. So what we're talking about here with focusing on one rabbit at a time is to simply choose one goal that is going to move the needle forward on your ultimate goal for your first year in business. So I'll give you an example. When I first started my business, of course, my goal was to sign a certain number of clients. And I was focusing on just that for the first few months. But as I was learning more about entrepreneurship and all the possibilities, I was then very interested in creating my own online course, doing group coaching, looking for speaking events or podcasts to go on. So because I lost focus on the one rabbit that would bring me closer to my ultimate goal, I started chasing too many rabbits, and I was getting confused. I was getting overwhelmed. There was so much that I wanted to do because I just love this job so much, but there was just too much that I was focusing on, and I was getting distracted and overwhelmed. And when we get overwhelmed, sometimes we don't think clearly and we don't know what the next appropriate step is going to be. So this loss of focus on my one rabbit slowed me down a little bit. And once I realized that the reason why I wasn't getting ahead, the reason why I was frustrated that I couldn't figure things out, is because I was going after too many things. I lost my focus on what my business was all about, which was helping individuals one-on-one. That was my one rabbit. Once I regained that focus, I started moving forward with so much more clarity and purpose. Okay, we're on to the fourth lesson, which is to invest in yourself. So what I mean by investing in yourself is to think of your first year as still being a student. You're wanting to be a sponge and absorb as much knowledge and experience as possible. So going into my first year, I was expecting that I'm going to be one of those individuals that really just booms and takes off, no problem. But I soon found myself realizing that there was so much more I still needed to learn. And so I began to invest in myself in a way where I was improving my qualifications through online courses. I invested in a mentorship program. I invested in improving my website so I was extremely clear on what kind of service and value I can provide to others. I also came to realize that as a business owner, as a new entrepreneur, I had to be willing to be the client myself. So as I was investing in my mentorship and the courses, that was me being a client to these other businesses. I got a taste of what it was to hand over a pretty large sum of money to improve myself. So now I had a way of understanding my clients' thoughts and even worries when it comes to investing that much money into something that you know is ultimately going to be of great benefit to you, but still can bring a lot of fear and uncertainty. So putting yourself in your client's shoes and investing in yourself the same way you're wanting them to invest in themselves is a very powerful tool to bring so much more clarity and understanding to what your client's experience is going to be like. Okay, so we're at lesson number 5. So number 5 is to not worry about doing things their way. So when I mean their, I'm talking about all of the business owners and individuals that are inspiring and motivating to you. Maybe you're looking at how they run their business and they're providing tips on how to use Instagram the best way possible, or how to start using Pinterest or email. There's so much information out there. And if you're anything like me, as a new entrepreneur, I was a sponge and wanted to know everything and anything. So I, again, was taking a lot of courses and I was getting a lot of inspiration from individuals on Instagram, especially. But the thing that I came to realize is that, and it's probably common sense, obviously I am not them, and what works for one person will not always work for another person. And for some reason I had in the back of my mind, in order to be successful in a certain area, I had to do things their way. And I came to realize that it is not sustainable. I would stick with it for maybe a month and then fall off. So that inconsistency really doesn't look good, of course, but puts just so much unnecessary stress on you. If it doesn't feel right, if it's not you, then do the best you can to find out what your way is. And I came to realize Instagram, my way, is gonna be just 2 or 3 times a week. Reels, my way, is going to be maybe 1 or 2 times a week. You're gonna see people say something different. And when it comes to growing your business, you want to be authentic. And you want to just take the time and just figure out what your way is going to be. It doesn't have to be exactly like the course you're taking or your go-to idol in your business. What's so special about you and your business is that you have your own unique take and way of doing things. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, building a community is such a beautiful thing, and it's something I absolutely love. I do have a monthly newsletter list, and it's called Living Your Best Life. It is linked down below in the description, and I would love to have you as part of our growing community. On this list, I share 2 emails a month, and these emails are full of coaching tips and insights. And I also love to provide you guys with the occasional challenge to really get you looking at your life differently, so that way you're thriving and not just going through the motions on default. Thank you so much for joining me in this video as I shared my top lessons and takeaways in my first year of being a new entrepreneur. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, then you know what I'm gonna say. Come join us, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. And until next time, sending you so much healing love.